Hello again, everybody. Welcome to the Vegas Voice, The Last Word. My name is Dan Roberts. I'm the publisher and editor of the Vegas Voice. And what we want to do through the Vegas Voice and through our readers is to get you to know all the people running for office. This is not going to be a debate. This is not going to be a gotcha type of situation. But we want those running for office to explain their positions. Whether you like them, you don't like them. That's for you to decide. My guest today, and I'm very proud to have Steve Rice, who is running for political office for City Council in the city of Henderson.
Good morning.
Steve, good morning, and thank you so much for being here.
Absolutely.
I have to tell you, the thing that is going through my mind is, I know a little bit about your background. Let's start with that first. Why don't you start about your background?
I'm a Las Vegas resident and native. My parents moved here in 1949, actually.
Really?
My dad was out at Nellis Air Force Base. So I was born here, grew up here, went to Chaparral High School and UNLV, and then went down, got a degree in accounting from UNLV, and went down to Los Angeles and went to school at UCLA. Got a law degree at UCLA and practiced business law in Los Angeles for 3 years, 2 years, 3 years. And then came back to Las Vegas because my parents were here. And family is important to me, and I wanted to raise a family where my parents were and spend as much time as I could with them. And because in Los Angeles, I was making good money as an attorney in Beverly Hills and in Santa Monica, but I couldn't afford a house where I wanted to live. So moving back here was an opportunity to give me the quality of life that I wanted and raise a family where I wanted to do that.
And based upon what I know about you, your background and everything, you are an extremely successful person, good family man, just an all-around great guy. So here comes the question. Why would you now want to get involved in politics?
I know. That's when I talk to people who know me,
yeah,
and I say, I'm running for office. That's, the first response, hopefully, is, that's great. And then the second is almost without fail, why in the world are you doing this?
That's correct.
And I never planned to do this. I'd never had a political career in mind. It's never been on my bucket list. I'm doing what I wanted to do. I am a business lawyer. I've got a successful practice, and that's fine. I'm getting to the stage in my life where that's going to start winding down at some point, and that was the plan. But I've done a lot of work. I'm a business lawyer, a real estate lawyer. I've done a lot of work in the city of Henderson. I know the members of the city council very well. I think the world of all of them. And about this time last year, I was asked whether I would consider doing this. And I mean, to be honest with you, I said no, because it's way outside my comfort zone.
Right.
It's nothing I ever planned to do. To sell myself, I represent clients, and I'm comfortable doing that. I see myself as a problem solver. I like taking complex transactions and creating a solution that makes sense for my clients and making the deal work. But selling myself, and now I'm spending a good amount of time during the week trying to raise money for the campaign. I mean, that's very far outside of anything I ever intended to do or wanted to do, and outside my comfort zone.
Yeah.
But and so I said no when I was asked, but I talked to my wife about it. And as I said, I'm to the stage where things are going to start slowing down eventually. And I love this city. And I've raised my two daughters here. They went to Green Valley High School, heavily involved in the Parks and Rec program. The city has been wonderful to me and to my family. And I've got, with the support that I have and the people who are asking me to do this, I thought there's not going to be another opportunity to do this type of thing, to be involved in local government and hopefully give something back to the city that's been so good to me.
Well,
and that's the only reason that I'm doing this, is because I think I can bring value to the city of Henderson.
and talk a little bit about that, because, again, we have the Sun City community. So you got Sun City Anthem, you got Sun City McDonald Ranch in Henderson and everything.
Right.
For the average senior who is getting by, and getting by comfortably, they should vote for you because. How about that?
Well, I'm very familiar with Sun City. My father lived here until he passed away in Sun City, McDonald Ranch. My sister still lives here. So I know the community very well. I'm qualified to move in here. And I think I understand the concerns of the residents of Sun City. I think, and I share almost all of them. I mean, quality of life is the reason I moved back into town. It's the reason that I've been so happy raising my family here. And it's something that is very important to me and to my family, and it's something that I want to make sure we preserve. So as the city continues to develop and become what it's going to be, there's nothing more important than public safety and make sure you feel secure in your own home and on the streets of Henderson, and then that quality of life. And I think that is that's shared by the residents of Sun City. You want to make sure that when you buy your home here, that you're going to get the life and the security and that you anticipated when you came here. Mm-hmm. So fiscal responsibility, public safety, quality of life, growth that doesn't interfere with that quality of life. Those are all things that are very important to me as a resident, and things that are going to be very important to me if I'm fortunate enough to be on the city council.
One of the things that I've seen in Henderson, I've been here since 1999, mm-hmm. is the tremendous growth from the Raiders moving in, and now you got the Silver Knights and the Golden Knights here.
Yes.
And the growth has been exceptional. It really has. Are you concerned that there's going to be a water problem down the road? Because you see Lake Mead going lower and lower, and yet Henderson is still growing by leaps and bounds. And that's credit to the administration.
Yeah, I mean, there is a water issue. There's no doubt about it. And I've represented Basic Water Company in Henderson for the last 30 years that has its own intake in Lake Mead. And that water level and the continuing drought has been something that I've looked at quarterly for a decade. So I'm very familiar with it. It is real. It is a real issue. And when I decided to get involved in this process and run for city council, I asked Dan Stewart, who serves on the board for the Southern Nevada Water Authority, to set up a briefing for me, mm-hmm. so that I could ask my questions. I could get a better understanding of where we are, because it's critically important. And for the first half hour of the meeting, it was very depressing. Hearing about where we are and the continuing drought and the likelihood that it's going to continue in the future. Those are sobering issues. But then the next half of the meeting, we talked about all that the Southern Nevada Water Authority has been doing over the last 20 years to prepare for where we are right now. The water banking that they've done, the water reclamation is extraordinary. I think more than 90% of the water that's used inside a building, inside a residence, inside an office building, is recaptured through the reclamation process. And so as a result of that, we're actually using less water in absolute terms than we were 20 years ago. So despite that incredible growth that we've had over the last 20 years, we're using less water now than we were then, because of what we all have as citizens have done to conserve water, to remove turf, what the SNWA has done in reclaiming water. Those things have put us in a position where the water shortage is real, but we're okay. And the Southern Nevada Water Authority has a 50-year plan. They're always updating their 50-year plan. And their current 50-year plan anticipates that growth will continue, anticipates that the drought is not going to go away, mm-hmm. But also anticipates that there are going to be rational conservation measures. And under that 50-year plan, 50 years from now, we're okay.
So we got 50 years before we start to worry.
Well, and in the meantime, we can be doing other things. Yeah. I think the Water Authority, well, first of all, rational conservation measures, I think they describe it as any turf where the only folks who walk on it are the maintenance crew, it has to go away. So ornamental grass, those that, median landscaping, all those things, we just don't have the water to do that. So those things have to go away. Rational conservation has to be implemented. But we're also, they're looking to the future, that 50-year plan. Mm-hmm. They're investing more than $200 million with the Metropolitan Water District in Los Angeles to help them upgrade their reclamation facilities, so that right now they treat their water in Southern California and then they send it out to the ocean. But if they can reclaim that water, like we do, right, and then re-inject it into the groundwater, they're not losing it. It doesn't just go away. And so for that investment, we have a partnership with those folks. So for that investment, the water that they can save by doing that, we get to participate in that and take part of that water from the Colorado.
Okay.
So, we're working with our partners in the West to try to solve this problem. But, it was very reassuring to me to know that we have been doing so much already, and that the residents of the city should be very proud of all that's been done to reduce our water consumption as we've continued to grow.
So with the limited time we have left, people should vote for you for city council for Henderson. Go ahead, sum it up.
I think I'm the best qualified candidate. I have worked as a problem solver and a business lawyer. I have an LLM in taxation. I understand finance. I think I'm the best qualified candidate. I love the city of Henderson. The city has been very good to my family. Like I say, I've raised 2 daughters here, and this has been a quality of life that I want to make sure is available for my daughters and their children going forward. And the last thing, at this stage in my career, I don't need to improve my resume. I don't need the limelight. Lord, I'd run from the limelight if I could. I'm only doing this because I think that I can add value to the city council. And I think I can, local government is an opportunity to really make a difference and do something good. And that's the only reason that I'm here.
And if people want more information, they can go to your website, hopefully contribute, because you said raising money is a
Raising money is
full-time job.
unfortunately a big part of the process. The website is votesteverice.com. And my phone number is on that website. It is 702-241-1252. Anybody that wants to sit down and talk to me about any of these issues or anything else involving the city or the city council, call me and we'll set it up.
And what I'd like to do, Steve, is as we get closer and closer, maybe invite you back and maybe grill you some more stuff.
Oh, I'd love to do it. I'd love to do it.
So I thank you so much, Steve, for being here. And this is Dan Roberts for The Last Word, and we will see you later.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.